The Sony ZV-1 can now be used as a USB webcam for video calls or streaming, but should you use the USB option, or maybe something like a capture card for the best possible quality? Let's find out. My name is Vic Barry and we do all things video here, including techniques, tips and thoughts. So if that's your thing, which I think it probably is if you're watching this, then please consider hitting subscribe. The Sony ZV-1 is a great little camera. In fact, it's a little beast of a camera and it can make a huge difference to your actual video calls, or if you're doing any streaming, whether that's game streaming or talking head streams or whatever you're doing, compared to your normal webcam. So just to give you an idea, this is the Logitech C920 and this is the Sony ZV-1. So there is a huge difference in how the whole thing looks. And speaking of making a difference, this video is sponsored by Epidemic Sound, who have an incredible selection of all copyright-free music and sound effects which you can use in your videos, or you can use to really take your video streams to the next level. I've left you guys a link in the description so you can get free music, free sound effects, and a free trial, and it's all yours to keep to use in your live streams or your videos. And by clicking the link in the description, you're supporting me and the channel directly so we can continue making these videos. By the way, all this music and sound effects is copyright free, so you never have to worry about your stream getting shut down for a copyright or anything to do with copyright strikes in your videos. You've got two options for streaming with the Sony ZV-1. The USB option, which has got a serious limitation, which we're going to talk about momentarily, or something like a capture card. This is an A10 Mini from Blackmagic, but there's loads of other capture cards out there. Some of them are expensive, some of them are cheap. Elgato Camlink is another one that a lot of streamers like to use. But what's the limitation when it comes to the USB versus the capture card? Well, if you're streaming with the Sony ZV-1, the resolution is limited to, on USB, 1024 by 576. From a size perspective, that is a huge difference. See kind of how much of the USB you could fit into like a 4K stream? But here's the thing, let's think about this. Are you streaming in 4K? Are you even streaming in 1080p? And if you are, regardless of the resolution that you're streaming at, are your audience watching on a big TV to get the most out of 4K? Or are they watching on their phone? But how does the video quality actually look? Okay, let's get this in. This has been directly recorded within OBS, and this is the USB option. And this is from the capture card, the A10 Mini from Blackmagic. Let me know in the comments right now if you've seen a deal breaker of a difference between the USB streaming option and the capture card option. Now, I've been thinking a lot about this, and the Sony ZV-1 USB option, as far as I'm concerned, has got a couple of serious advantages over using something like a capture card. If you're using the USB option, if you're using this one cable, that's all you need. You just need one cable, because this will not only power the Sony ZV-1, but it's also going to carry the video, and it's going to power the camera for an eternity. Just make sure you've got USB power turned on, and that's kind of it. Really easy. And I've ran these tests for well over an hour and the battery hasn't budged, because the Sony ZV-1 has got continuous power, so the battery doesn't trickle down. So as long as you've got power going into the camera, it's going to stay there forever until it explodes, which will probably be never, because it's really good at handling heat. If you have to use something like a capture card like the A10 Mini, you've got to get a USB cable to connect to the computer, you've got to get a power cable to power it, and you've also got to get a HDMI cable, which is 3 cables, which can be a lot of clutter. Now, if you're using something like a Camlink, okay, you just got to plug it in USB and you just got to get a HDMI cable, but you're also going to need a USB cable to power the Sony ZV-1. For me, right now, I do think the difference in the video quality between the two is not that substantially different. Look at it. I mean, it's just, it's good. For your streams, it's way better than the webcam. So I would be thinking, if I'm doing any streaming, I'm going to probably stick with the USB option, because something like a capture card, sure, it's slightly better quality. Is it worth all the clutter? Is it worth all the hassle? And if you don't have one, is it worth all the expense? If you want to see how to fully set up your Sony ZV-1 for USB, then click the video here and I'll see you on the next video. And if you found this video useful, please, 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 that sounds like I'm begging, just hit subscribe. Hit the like button and all those other YouTube things. We'll see you in the next one. Until then, don't stop fighting for yourself. Yeah. That was good? No? All right.